A classic magician's trick is making something disappear right in front of a packed audience. A rabbit, a coin, maybe even a person. Sleight of hand, misdirection, and just like that, it's gone. Now imagine this. A shipment of 6,600 solid gold bars, over 400 kilograms in weight, worth more than 20 million Canadian dollars, vanishing from a secure airport facility under the eyes of trained personnel at one of North America's busiest airports. No explosives, no weapons, no hacking. Just a plan executed with near-perfect precision. This is the true story of a crime so smooth it felt like fiction. This is Canada's most unbelievable gold heist, and the global mystery that still remains unsolved. It's Monday, April 17th, 2023. The sky above Toronto's Pearson Airport is overcast as an Air Canada flight descends through heavy clouds. The pilot balances the aircraft under the weight of the consignment it carries. At 15:56, the tires of the Boeing finally touch the tarmac at one of Canada's busiest airports. The plane has arrived from Zurich, Switzerland. This is no ordinary flight, and certainly no ordinary cargo. Holding 6,600 bars of gold with 99.9% purity, the bars are neatly packed on pallets and stashed in a container. Another case holds $2.5 million in banknotes. Total value, over 20 million Canadian dollars. Brinks, an American cash handling company, had contracted Air Canada to move the valuables. The assets are destined for TD Bank and VBCE, a Canadian exchange company. Airport employees immediately begin the controlled process of unloading the shipment. By 6:30 p.m., the container is moved from the aircraft to Air Canada's warehouse, a holding facility with secure access. Routine procedures. No alarms triggered, no indication of anything suspicious. It's supposed to remain in storage until it is picked up by Brink's security service. What followed will send police on an international manhunt. Security around airports is tightly controlled. The same is true around the cargo areas, with restricted access and authorized personnel only. Just after 7:30 p.m., a white 5-ton truck arrives at Air Canada's cargo terminal. The lone driver wears an airport vest. He's calm, confident. He presents official-looking documents, an airway bill indicating a routine pickup. The bill looks authentic. It's printed on Air Canada's own internal printer, a crucial detail. Staff at the gate scan it. It checks out and the truck is waved through. Inside the warehouse, the driver strides with assured familiarity. His face is covered, hands gloved. He hands over the paperwork. The warehouse employee sees nothing suspicious. Satisfied, the employee swiftly loads the gold container onto the truck without delay. And just like that, the vehicle exits the facility. No commotion, no resistance, no chase. 6,600 bars of gold, weighing over 400 kilograms, stolen without a single shot fired. It is the largest gold heist in Canadian history. But how did this happen? And who was involved? At 9:30 p.m., the real Brinks driver arrives in his armored vehicle to collect the shipment. But the gold is long gone. Confusion turns to panic. Frantic calls are made. It isn't until 2:30 a.m., 5 hours after the theft, that Air Canada officially notifies Canadian police. The RCMP immediately swing into action. By then, the robbers already had a massive head start.
Canada's biggest airport was the scene of a multi-million-dollar heist of gold and other valuables.
This is something out of a movie.
The Royal Canadian Mounted Police launch an investigation codenamed Operation 24K.
As per normal procedure, the aircraft was unloaded and cargo was transported from the aircraft to a holding cargo facility.
Immediately, suspicion hints at an inside job. After all, no locks were broken, no alarms set off. Someone simply walked in and disappeared with the 400-kilogram container. And whoever it was clearly had detailed internal knowledge of procedures and schedules. Workers at the warehouse are questioned. There is little evidence and no clear leads until the police finally catch a lucky break. In a moment of carelessness, the truck driver had removed his gloves while handing over the paperwork to the warehouse employee. As a result, he left behind a crucial piece of evidence, a fingerprint on the forged paperwork. Police quickly run the print. It belongs to Durante King McLean, a 25-year-old from Brampton, Ontario. Not a notorious criminal, just a young man with previous minor traffic offenses and now Canada's most wanted. A person of interest in the greatest gold heist in the country's history. Investigators pore over 220 surveillance feeds, desperate to map out the white truck's route from the moment it left Air Canada cargo. It travels west on Britannia Road, then south on Dixie Road, linking onto Highway 401. It drives quite a distance on the highway, reaching Halton region before turning onto Bronte Road north. Once in the more rural areas north of Milton, the truck simply vanishes, and Durante along with it. In a comical twist, Brinks, the American cash handling company, files a lawsuit against Air Canada, accusing the airline of gross negligence. Air Canada hits back, denying all wrongdoing, arguing that Brinks underdeclared the value of the shipment and claiming international treaty laws capped its liability at around $18,000. The lawsuit turns into a battle of fine print and legal finger-pointing, while the gold remains missing. It's September 2023, 5 months after the brazen gold heist. Red leaves blow calmly as a state trooper watches the road from the shoulder of a rural Pennsylvania highway. A white rental car tears down the asphalt, weaving between lanes with reckless abandon. The officer's reaction is instinctive. Lights flash, siren blares. The cruiser launches forward. His radio chirps. 9-5 in a 6-5. The rental speeds up. No hesitation, no signal, just flight. 2 miles, 3. Then, sharp turn. Moments later, the white car jerks to a halt, steam rising from the hood like breath in cold air. The officer steps out, gun drawn, senses sharpened. Inside the trunk, what he finds stops him cold. 65 illegal firearms. Some modified, several with serial numbers scratched clean off, ghost weapons ready for the black market. And the driver? A 25-year-old Canadian named Durante King McLean. Gold thief turned U.S. weapons runner. Canada's most elusive fugitive finally slipped up. Investigators suspect the stolen gold was now being used to smuggle arms across borders.
And as you will hear, we've interrupted the transportation of a large quantity of firearms intended for import here into Canada.
Durante's phone would soon reveal a treasure trove of leads, encrypted chats, key names, including one in particular, Prasath Paramalingam. The messages outlined the logistics of the operation, detailed roles, getaway routes, and more. Suddenly, the web began to unravel. Police go on to question over 50 suspects, issue 70 warrants, and conduct at least 37 raids, including homes and businesses. In one house, $430,000 in cash is discovered. Another raid yields portable gold-melting equipment, a furnace, crucibles, and other tools, alongside 6 homemade bracelets of pure gold. 2 handwritten documents, believed to be financial ledgers, are also found. The same 18 names appear on both. The paperwork lists the following, among other things: $220,000 wired to Dubai, condo, boat. But nothing of the 6,600 bars is found. The theory? The gold was melted down within weeks, recast into wearable pieces, or quietly shipped abroad to India or Dubai, where tracking would be nearly impossible.
We have arrested 9 people, issued 3 Canada-wide arrest warrants, and have laid 19 related charges.
Investigators finally name 9 firm suspects, with Arsalan Sunny Chowdhury tipped as the ringleader of the operation. On the day of the theft, Chowdhury made over 800 calls to other suspects, likely orchestrating the entire heist. Within days of the robbery, he left Canada and fled to Dubai, where he is believed to still be hiding. Another suspect, Simran Panesar, an Air Canada warehouse manager, also remains at large. Panesar was initially brought in for questioning. He showed police around the warehouse during their first wave of investigation, but shortly after, he resigned from Air Canada and disappeared. He's thought to be hiding in India, a country of over 1.4 billion people. Investigators believe Panesar was one of the few people with access to the internal printer used to fake the airway bill. A third suspect, Pamparl Sidhu, an operator in Air Canada's warehouse, also fled a few months after the heist, relocating again to Dubai. His social media now flaunts a luxury lifestyle: 5-star hotels, expensive watches, flashy cars, and more. Coincidence? Since Dubai has no extradition treaty with Canada, it remains unclear whether these men will ever face justice. Back in Canada, 5 arrested suspects are out on bail, while Durante remains in U.S. custody on gun trafficking charges. None of the accused have admitted guilt. None are officially charged with theft. And the gold? Still missing. Still unaccounted for. Despite international warrants, digital forensics, and months of investigation and surveillance, not an ounce of the precious metal has been recovered. The Great Canadian Gold Heist wasn't just a robbery. It was a masterclass in logistics, manipulation, and perhaps misdirection. No explosions, no elaborate disguises, just forged documents, a confident driver, and a flawless exit. Like and subscribe for more true crime narratives delivered with a cinematic edge.